too long ago.
The board appointments were on the council agenda.
Newsletter.
We ready to get started?
Yeah.
I'm ready. If y'all are ready. Well, thank you all for coming today. We're excited about working with you guys as our new utilities committee, and I just want to share a little bit about the way I do things, and if y'all want to do things different, I am open to whatever. So I usually bring to you guys the bigger items, and the small items, just like renewal of a contract, I usually just send it straight to the council. That's up to y'all. If you want me to bring everything, share everything with y'all ahead of time, I'm good with that. It's just whatever y'all want to do. Otherwise, like I said, I just kind of do the bigger items. So let me know. Let me know how it goes, okay? And I am a to the point person, so if you need something explained, please just ask, and I'll be happy to explain. So, all right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
And I usually try to do this every meeting, so you'll get a folder with all kind of our topics that we're going to talk about in. So first, we're going to talk about our solar project. So we've been working on a solar project for probably a year and a half now. And if you turn to the first page, this is all the local power companies that we are partnered with on this project. So what this project is at the Mazda Toyota plant. They had an extra 130 acres that they wanted to do something with. And so Mazda Toyota decided that they wanted to do a solar plant to help subsidize the power that they're using at the plant. So they came to us and they asked if we'd like to partner with them on this project. And TVA has a new flexibility program that falls right in line with this. And so with that, we've all decided we're going to do one big solar project. It's actually going to be in Limestone County at the Mazda Toyota plant. It's going to sell directly onto the TVA power line.
Where'd you say it's going to be?
Right beside the Mazda Toyota
Okay.
plant. And we're going to buy, we have allotted of who gets what based on our size. We're actually have 18 megawatts that's going to be our part of it. And it's 110 megawatts total. And so we have it split up depending on how, large, your utility is, how much you get. So
They generate it and sell it to TVA?
yes, and we get the
from there.
credit for it. Yes. So that's kind of the overview of all that on that one page. The next page just talks about, it's going to be sold to TVA through on the 161 line at the TVA Limestone County substation. This is part of the Flex 2.0, the TVA program that we're a part of, that our 153 local power companies can take advantage of to help save money on our power bills. So kind of some interesting facts is this will be the largest solar project which utilizes land owned by a car manufacturer in the world. This is the second largest in the Toyota manufacturing. That's 30 megawatts of solar or greater. And then the Mercury will be the largest solar project under the TVA Flex program. So it's pretty cool to be a part of all that. And so this is kind of our interconnection, kind of our timeline. So the reason it's going to be a while before we finish the project is you see the estimated fourth quarter 28 before it's finalized. But something that we have to have in by the 1st of January is the power purchase agreement with Toyota. And I'll be happy to email all that to you. It's a 68-page document, and I didn't want to print it all, but I'll email it to you. It's basically an agreement between the city of Florence and Toyota to purchase our share of the power that they're generating from the solar farm. And they have to have that in place. Why so early? Because they've got to order all the solar panels, and they've got to get their own monies secured. And so their people that they're getting their money from want to make sure that we are good for the project and not going to pull out. So they need that commitment from us that we're going to purchase the power when it's complete. So that will be at the next council agenda.
Explain to me the major impact of this, like why we're doing this.
Next page.
Okay, I'm jumping.
So this page right here. So the reason we're doing this is this chapel right here. So this is the proposed savings for us, kind of the average year we're looking at saving about 1.2, 1.5, depending on what the power rates are at that time, in savings for us purchasing it from the Toyota dealers, solar power versus buying it from TVA. So this is why we're doing it, to save ourselves money. Yep. And this is kind of proposed. This is a little dated from when we originally had this done. We've been working on this project for a long time. This was prepared by our consultant, as you can see at the bottom. And but this is the first iteration, depending on, what rates go up, if they go up from TVA or whatever, this will obviously fluctuate. But we're looking at about, we're thinking 1.1 to 1.5 million in savings over the year. Which we can spend on maintenance. So just something I wanted to share, because you're going to be getting this again next month. This right here letter. This is what we get from TVA every January. And this is where we determine our rate increases, kind of the conversation starts with. So last year, obviously we got this in January, TVA recommended that we increased our amount that we're bringing in by $9.5 million. We're have about $2.5 million that we, from our current rate action that just happened. That won't be for this year, but every year recurring, because we didn't have it for the full year. It'd be about 2.5 million, so you're looking at about 7 million still. And the reason for this amount is, this is something I don't know if, and I shared this a little bit. So TVA is our regulator. We have a, a list of things we have to follow in our wholesale power agreement from TVA. And part of it is they regulate all of our finances. And they receive, every month we have to report to them our financials. And so we have to send them our financials, they review them. At the end of the year, we do an annual report to them that they, review, and we're in the process of that right now, finishing that up. And so this is something, TVA is our regulated, monitors very closely our finances. And so the biggest concern, as you can read on this, is that we don't spend enough money on operations and maintenance. We don't have it, so we don't spend it, but we need to do a better job with our maintenance plan. And we have a maintenance plan, but we just, we can only spend what we have coming in. So that's the main reason TVA would like us to increase, is because they want us to do more maintenance on our system. So, but this spells this out in here. So, any questions?
These are recommendations. Is there teeth to this? I
Well,
know they recommend that's what they see.
No, they're not going to.
That's what I did.
No, this is after reviewing our financials, what they recommend that we do.
And it's, you mind if I ask a leading
Oh,
questions?
you know.
All right, so and we've talked over this, I want y'all to hear this information. It's been years getting us to this point, right? I mean, decades maybe? I mean, as far behind on maintenance.
Well, I don't know what the numbers were before I got my job, but since I've been in this position, we were as low as 7 million at one point in time, but the last couple of years has been in the 9 millions every year.
Is there a rate increase besides this past year that took it from?
We only had one. We've had a rate increase the year before, which helped it a little bit, but it was only about $1.5 million, and it was basically the same from 2024's number to 2025's number, just because inflation of cost of everything.
You have examples from transformers and you share some of this with me, and I want you to share with them, like the number of power poles countywide that you have and how many ideally we're replacing each year.
So we have 65,000 power poles across our county, and y'all have this in that documentation that I gave that all you should have gotten.
Okay.
And so roughly a power pole lasts 40 years, kind of the average length of a power pole. And so you divide all that out, we really should be replacing 1,600 power poles a year. That's a lot of power poles. And we don't have the staff to do that. So that's just one example of maintenance that, we need to be performing. And then just the cost of things, the cost of, we just ordered 3 substation transformers, and they're supposed to be here in January, February. And I mean, went up 50% from when we previously ordered them. And if we ordered them right now, they would probably go up another 40 or 50% higher. So, I mean, it's just
Your costs
our cost.
going up.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That are,
Just the cost of the products.
what we would have ideally have seen, which nobody likes to go with inflation, are these incremental changes
Yes.
that would have helped us keep this.
Yes, is what
little
we
more
should have.
manageable.
Yes, which is what.
We
Shoulda,
still
coulda,
want
woulda.
on anything we do would need to be incremental.
Yes,
we don't
we
want to do a
do.
big one, but we are behind.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working on now. That's why last year we had the small one. This past that y'all approved in October we had. I think it's October. And then we'll do the same thing. Chris Mitchell is our rate consultant who we have our call with him in January, so we'll probably schedule our next quarter call in March or 1st of April. And I think I'm going to get him to come down and let y'all all meet him. And so he'll go over all this and he'll kind of give us his recommendations for our rate increase for the year. So,
Is he a TVA employee or is he an independent?
he's
consultant?
independent.
And he does lots of TVA.
Like 90 something of the 153 local power companies, he represents 90 something of them with their rates.
Subject
Very
matter
educated.
expert, yeah.
Yes, he is the expert on it. Any other questions? I just wanted to share this because you're going to get this next copy next month. So I just wanted to share it with you up front. So
And it reflects the rate change that you had. The one in January will.
this one will, that one will. So the next page, I was asked to share this. So this is starting from 1980 to this past year, or we say our physical year start July 1. So when I say last year, it's last fiscal year, okay? So this is the number, and I know from 80 to 90 is kind of different because things were organized differently then. Everybody was under the electricity department. We didn't have people separated like we do now. So basically in 1980, we had 33,000 customers. And in the 40 years, we've grown by 50%, 57%. And as you can see, our employee count has not grown to compensate for what's needed to work. So in this year's budget, I was thankful to the council. They approved us to hire 4 linemen. We've hired 2 of them. We're going to post 2 more after Christmas. But we have got to continue to grow. And but when we hire a lineman, we're probably 6-7 years before they really can do their job without having somebody there. So it's just time consuming. We've worked on hiring a 7th line crew for probably 2 years now, and we're still not to that point. We're going to reevaluate it after Christmas and see if we think we can do it in this next budget year to help with that offset. Of course, we also put in the budget this year to hire contract crews, which we hopefully will put the bid out the first of the year, and bring some people in to help us to do maintenance. So,
Do you feel like it's more cost effective to have your own crews?
I think it's more cost effective to have our own crews to a point, but I think we can get too big too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We still grow and we have a lot to do, but at some point, hopefully, we'll get to where, okay, we're going to do the maintenance for the year and that's all that's needed. You know what I mean? And we're not so behind that we're trying to catch up. You know what I mean? So we don't want to overgrow. So, we definitely could use another overhead and underground crew. Our underground crew, they had like 6 subdivisions that's on the list to be done. I mean, it's crazy how much our county is growing right now. So, and it's exciting for us. So, but it's
Still
just a
trying
lot
to
to
do
be
more
done.
with almost
Yes,
the same
the same numbers.
you had from 1980.
Yes,
I mean,
and
you're
that's
up
hard to
some.
do.
That's right.
That is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this 147 does not reflect the 4 because we're at 153 right now. So this does not reflect some of the hires that we've had. So, any questions about that? Okay, so one of the main reasons I wanted to meet today, which is these next 2 pages. So currently, our director of engineering operations is retired. We're sad to see him leave. He's done an amazing job for us over 40 for years, and we're all sad about it, but happy because he deserves a great retirement, and we're happy for him. When I took over this position in 19, I would have liked to have done this then, but we didn't have the people in house to do it at that time. So Alan at the time did engineering and operations, which is way too much for one person to do. We had grown too much, and this needed to be split up years ago. Like I said, we just didn't have the people in the house to do it. So we do now. So what I'm proposing is that we separate the two positions. If you see this page, it shows kind of responsibility separations. So it shows the requirements for the positions. It shows who they're going to directly supervise. And then it shows the job duties that are split up. The unfortunate thing is the employees that I would like to put in these positions are not going to be able to quit their other job either. So they're going to be continuing to do their old jobs and add these responsibilities to them. So my question is, with Alan's retirement and his salary, it would add, extra money to have an extra for the same pay, an extra director. So I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on it. We have about 187 from his salary and benefits already built into the budget. So we already have that in for salaries. So my question is, we're probably adding, if we keep the job exactly what the pay is now without increasing it, we're probably adding $20,000 more to have a second one. But we will not rehire either one of these employees. So we're actually, if we don't change any of the pay, we're actually gaining about $160,000, but in our budget.
So we're working through some structure issues, and I think she's just kind of letting you know we're just gonna add a couple of positions due to some just some personnel issues and getting the right people in the right spot. We're gonna try to restructure some things that need to, but when you restructure and add some duties, we've got to work through what the details are to compensate people for additional duties and get them at a rate that's acceptable there. So we're going to play with some of that, but it's just something you all need to be aware of that is in the works, and it ultimately won't affect the bottom line to the budget. That's the good thing about it, to this year's budget. Yeah.
And it won't be adding an employee. It will just be moving, the money from his salary, to another salary. Two other salaries. And you don't have to give me an answer today. If y'all want to think about it, if y'all are good with it, we can move on and don't have to talk about it again. But that's the main thing.
We should be able to work through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we hope to have you a package and kind of an explanation of what that's going to look like and see how it is. But
Sure.
So
we'll keep you in the loop.
his current salary, the current salary is not what it shows on here either. This is from 2023. So that is not, this is just the job description. That is not the correct salary that they have. It's his starting is like 110 is his current starting.
We'll move in that position.
Any
Take
questions?
some of that salary and add it to other people.
I think that's a great idea.
And it's needed. We've grown, and like I said, I really wanted to do it initially when I got this position, but we just didn't have another person in place to do it. But now we do. So
Is Ellen already gone or when?
no,
is it? When?
December 12th.
December 12th.
About 5 months earlier than expected, I think.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a long
Yeah, we
period, so-
thought he was going to leave after the rodeo next year, which I'm going to have a conversation with y'all about too. But he has decided to, which is, I'm excited for him. He deserves it. And, I don't want to, he deserves every bit of it. So, Any questions about that? Okay. So basically, like I said, it's, we would like to work on salaries, but we'll talk about that come budget time next year, so y'all be prepared.
Lots of needs, for sure, across the board, yeah.
We are hosting the 2026 Tennessee Valley Lyman Rodeo. And it's a great honor. It is a great event. And it's going to be at McFarland the weekend of June 3rd, 4th, 5th, that weekend. And so normally there's about 40 to 50 other local power companies that are going to come. And we'll have probably 2,000 people here at the McFarland for the event. So I will, when we get more details, I'll share it with you. But
Is this like a real rodeo?
it's like it's a Lyman rodeo. So they climb poles, they compete climbing
Oh,
poles.
okay.
I mean, I will share the video with you, and that kind of talks about the last Lyman rodeo. They was in Middle Tennessee at Murfreesboro, and so they did a video, and I'll share the video with you. So it's a great event. Our guys do a great job competing, and it's a great honor to have everybody here to host it. So it is a 3-day event. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday night is a family night where they have this big thing where they swap t-shirts and hats, and so I would love for y'all to come. We have music, and usually a sponsor will sponsor the food and drinks and whatever. And so then the competition starts Friday, and so the journeyman and the seniors, so it's like 4 different categories. So the journeyman and the seniors compete Friday. And then Saturday will be the apprentices and the team. So, and what's really cool too is that, so the Tennessee Valley Lyman Rodeo is just the South, like the TVA area, and like lots of Alabama people attend and different people in the South. But Huntsville's actually hosting the APPA, which is like the national rodeo, in March. So it's kind of cool that both of them are here and, within an hour apart from one another for for this year. So we're super excited about that, but we'll share it with you and hope that y'all can come at least watch a little bit.
So what do they put poles up in the
So we'll set like 65 poles at
Okay.
McFarland, and they, we'll have them the different events. Like most of the different, the journeyman, apprentice, and senior and team have 4 events. And so we'll have like 4 different events set up for each group. And then they just do their competition, and they're timed on the fast they do it. You should see some of these people climb up and down a pole. And then they're also scored on how accurate they perform the job. So if they make a little mistake, they're docked. If they drop something, they're docked. If they, slide down the pole for any reason, they're docked. So it's a pretty, it's exciting. It's a great for our guys to get to go and represent us, and so it's a really fun, like family fun event. So we're excited about it.
How many
We're
come?
excited.
How many come? What is the number?
Probably 2,000 people. It's a big event. There's a banquet on Saturday night for just the competitors.
So where's that held?
It's going to be, the host hotel will be the Renaissance, and so the banquet will be at the conference center. And there's 1,000 people. Like, we are maxing out the conference center space. So
That's the host hotel.
And so that for a Saturday night is where they get the awards banquet. So
Okay.
That's fun.
it will be, and it's something fun. Our guys work so hard, and I think they deserve kind of having a time they can go show off their skills for what they do for everyone. So it's an exciting thing that they do. So. Yep.
Florence.
Yeah.
And let's just pray it doesn't rain our flood.
Be
I
sure and send
agree.
us those dates out.
So, excuse me?
Be sure and send us those dates out.
I
as soon as
will.
you can.
I will do that. I will share that with y'all.
Or send them to Kathy so she can load them on our calendars.
Yeah, that would be good too.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Don't forget.
I'm gonna make myself a note. And I will share the PPA, the purchase power purchase agreement, if y'all would like to see it. If you want me to share it with you, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. And our Christmas dinner is the 19th, and you'll also be getting an email about that to put on your calendar.
Electricity department.
It's
Coliseum.
not the Coliseum this year, because Coliseum is getting their floors.
That's right.
And so we can't have it at Coliseum. So we're having it in our meter lab. So when you pull up to our campus, I didn't take y'all to the meter lab, but when you go past my office and pull kind of between our operations building, it's the building on the right. I'll give you the address too, so.
Is that the one across the road?
Across the road.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
you
need
had pointed
set
it
up a
out to
time
us.
to go do our tour
Mm-hmm.
too. I was saying myself the other
Yes,
day.
yes.
Yes. I feel hurt.
I know, you need to. And we have a lot to show, and it was funny because TVA was at our campus for a meeting, and they were like, well, you need to give us a tour, and so we did, and y'all didn't even see all of it. Y'all just didn't see most of it, but yeah. So that works. Y'all want to keep going, or y'all want to schedule something for next week? That's up to y'all.
It's just 427.
It's just
I'm
427.
good. It's up to them.
I'm good.
Okay. So a big project that we're doing is we have a joint use agreement with the cable companies and AT&T in our area. And so we have contracts with them that with, AT&T that we, some poles they own, some poles we own. And we are in the process. We have not done an accurate count in many years. And so we are going to be doing a new count starting the first of the year. And so we've already contracted with Osmos to perform this. So at the next meeting, if I can make sure it's everything I need in it, there's going to be a memorandum of understanding between us and AT&T, and that is AT&T is going to partner and with this project, and they're going to pay for their share of the costs. So basically, the ones that they're own jointly, we're going to share those costs. And so you're going to have a MOU between us and AT&T, and that's what that is about, is the pole attachment agreements count. Does that make sense?
Do we get revenue from that?
We do get revenue from it. We make about $4 million a year off our pole attachments. And it's so inexpensive, but you think about it, with 65,000 poles, I mean, in a lot of locations, we'll have like 5 attachees on the pole, so it's
Can we get Verizon and T-Mobile on there also?
well, they are attached to some of them
Okay.
now, so yes. And along with that, we have worked on trying to get contracts. So we had a new pole attachment contract that we had written up a year ago, and we have tried to work with a couple of attachees on getting the contract signed, which we have not had any luck doing. So we have been introduced to a company at a meeting that I was at, and it's TRC Contract Solutions, and they will help us get these agreements signed. So that's another one contract that you're going to see come through. Maybe not next, I don't have it ready the next meeting, but the 1st of January will be their agreement. And I'll share it with you when I get it. But that is going to be to help us to get new contracts signed with the new requirements and so forth that we have placed in the new contract. To help us with all these pole attachments that they need to transfer on and so forth. But that will work. So we are working on Rogersville, a new substation in Rogersville, as you all know. And we are having some issues getting a couple easements, which we're trying to work through. But we may have to entertain, if we cannot get these easements, a change of location of the station. So
What's the problem with trying to get the easements?
they won't sign them. They refuse to sign them.
Private property owners.
Private property owners. So I just want to give you a heads up that we're going to give it to the 1st of the year, and we have got to move forward with securing aside. The transformers are actually going to be here. It's one of the ones that are going to be here January, February. So we've got to get a location to get ready, fenced off, ready to start the station. So I just want to give you a heads up, and we're giving it to the 1st of the year. And if we don't get anything worked out, then we will have to purchase some property for that. But if we do that, depending on where the property is that we have to purchase, it will probably save us money in the long run, because the transmission line costs are a lot less expensive than this distribution line cost, and we were having to build a very long transmission line to the location. So we're still going to do the project. We may just have to relocate. the location. So I just want to give y'all a heads up. And I will let y'all know because we may have to look at purchasing property for it.
This is one of those moments that you all make decisions that impact Rogersville, the people in Rogersville. And their seat of money
It's
designated
paying their,
for this.
Yeah, it's
Is it
paying a
one-
percentage of it.
1.6 million maybe? Does that
It
sound
is, I
right?
think, they're paying like 45% of the project, and we're paying the rest of it.
So it's not that she has, that project is, the reason it's stalled is the lack of the easements
Yes.
being,
Yes.
we run into unexpected issues with people not able to sell their property for
Yeah.
utility easements. This goes in support of would be in support of the 700 homes that people
Yes.
want to see built out in Rogersville.
I ran into the mayor, last weekend in Rogersville, and he,
Talked about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Even if we have
frustrated.
to purchase property,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
on their behalf, it'd be working.
And I mean, the substation's ordered, so I mean, it's on its way. We got to just find somewhere to put it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Construction starts and ends.
As soon as we get the substation, well, the overhead power line built, we were hoping to start already, but we can't till we get the easements. So hopefully if we can get all this settled, we can start that after the first year. And we were not starting a substation until probably August. It takes us about 2 months to build a station. So we probably wouldn't start. I don't think the last bits of parts will be here till September, but we were going to get as much done as we could until the last. The breakers are usually the last thing that comes, so.
You contract that out, or do your guys
We do
build the
in-house.
substation? So that's not, what do you hire contractors for? I'm just,
Only time we ever hire a contractor is,
Poles,
well, we're gonna hire the contractor for the first time in probably 20 years to replace poles for us. And besides that, I mean, just contractors to do like painting or certain things that our guys is just too big of a job for our guys to do. But we do everything. We do maintenance in house. We do everything in house we can possibly do. So we don't do HVAC. We don't have a good HVAC guy, so we have to contract that out. But we'll do anything else in house. We do contract out substation. Which we're fixing to renew that contract actually too. United Power Services will do test all our substation transformers every year for us, and so y'all will see that the next month. They will come in and do that, but they can come in and do it in a week and be done and give us the results. And the line construction, we do it all in house.
what's the capacity? But when you build a substation, I have no idea.
Depends on the station.
Okay. What would
Average
this
is probably 15 megawatts.
one- How many houses and businesses would that, I mean,
Let's
I don't know what
say.
question to ask. I'm trying to.
That's okay. So let's say the one at Shoal, we just replaced at Shoals Creek. It feeds, and it's about half capacity. It feeds all the Ag Center buildings. It feeds all of Kendall Gardens. It feeds over across Shoals Creek into Killen. Feeds both sides of, up until you get to Simpsons. It feeds both sides of the highway. It feeds back to town and feeds Indian Springs. It feeds all the subdivisions north, Faith Church and all those subdivisions north. I mean, that's just kind of, it feeds a lot.
It's capable of meeting
Yes.
demand that they will have.
Mhm.
So we're not gonna have to go back later and do something else.
No, and that's why when we are replacing a substation, and I talked to you about this before, but we got some great engineers and staff too, and they, we are really adamant about, the next century for the electricity department in the city of Florence, and we really got to prepare for that. And so as we replace things, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at, okay, what could possibly, capacity would we need at the station? So, which is something we're going to talk about next. So speaking of that, currently in town, we have, I don't know if you've ever driven by our office and seen the substation that's at our office. It's the original to Florence. We purchased it from TVA back in the day. I think in 36 we purchased that from TVA. We purchased the rural, I think, in 40s, but that substation has not been updated since 36. There's been some updates, but there's not been much updates since 36. So we purchased a property across the street and to move that station to eventually. There's another substation by Brawley, and there's a substation on West College at Magnolia, that little bitty substation. You probably never noticed it because it's like tucked back in there. So Currently, those are fed from a line that comes across the river from TVA. And so we actually own the line that comes across the river from TVA. How we could ever maintain it, no clue. Back in the day, for some reason, the manager from 50 years ago decided that was a good idea to take over. So we need a larger, in what they have now, we need a larger capacity coming from across the river. So we have looked at a couple of properties to put a new delivery point from TVA. We're probably talking about a $4 to $5 million project, but it really needs to be done for the downtown area, because the only other delivery point we have one at Florence Primary, which is back behind on Huntsville Road, back across from the Darby's, and we have Oakland Primary, and then we have Elgin. Everything else is out east, and so we really need one here close to downtown. So we met with TVA. We've looked at a couple spots, and this has been going on for a while, and I just kind of waited because I wanted all of you to get off this before I shared this for where we're looking at, putting one. And so ideally it would be somewhere around McFarland where the TVA line crosses, and that way we could go both directions, and our 46 line is also there, our transmission line, so we could take it out both directions and take a third one out to feed all the, the substations that feed all this area. So, are you all good? And I don't have a price. I have no clue what the price. With some property that we are interested in purchasing for that, to let us have a conversation with some property owners to see if we can purchase the property. Now, we're looking at years before we build it, but the first thing we got to get is the site so we can start the plan. Once we decide on the site, we're probably looking at 3 years before TVA could actually give us power at the site. So we really need to, as soon as we can kind of finalize a site would be better served by us. And are y'all good with us moving forward with looking at sites? And I'll keep y'all, informed of how much as soon as we kind of negotiate, and I don't even have a clue what I'm gonna have to get with, a realtor or somebody just trying to give me an estimate of what they're going for. You know what I mean? There was a lot for sale where the old gas, where the old propane gas place was, right there by the police department, kind of in a hole. So that probably was for sale, very reasonable, but it was down in a hole. And that was our first location that we were interested in. But after meeting with TVA, it's not large enough for the station. So it's just the site's too small. So in worst case scenario, we may have to put it at McFarland somewhere in TVA deed as the property, or just allow us to put it on there, but we would prefer not to do that. And if it did end
Why
up
would you
McFarland,
prefer not to do that?
well, it's low. We would have to build it up, and it floods. So it would have to be built up out of the flood plain in order to it'd just be a cost, extra cost.
It's like 2 acres, an acre. So one down in Tri-Cities Gas is
It's,
acre and a half.
yeah, the TVA power line crosses right through the middle of it, and we can't go under the power line.
That's not the power line we.
No, that's
a TVA.
that's a
power.
TVA power line.
I got you. That's the one that helicopters replaced a few years ago. wasn't it?
Probably so.
Yeah.
So, are y'all good with us starting the interest of looking at properties and? Okay.
And I think, talking about it and trying to find something. I think that's.
And
I'm
come
good
back,
with
and
that.
when I get some numbers, share it with y'all before, obviously, y'all
Yeah.
have to approve any purchases, but I just wanna make sure you're good with moving forward with it
It's okay to
before. Say what?
It's okay to look.
It's okay to look, I agree. And,
It's a 1939 power or substation you're trying to.
Don't
replace.
purchase it, you can look.
36.
1936 substation.
Yeah, and we would love to have put it on our lot across the street from us, but it's too far from the TVA power line, because TVA would have to build a line to us for a delivery point, and it's just too far away, and it would cost a lot of money for that project. So we really need to find a spot that's, the property, TVA's power line crosses the property.
More stable, or is it more efficient when you put a new
It's
one in?
more cost
What's the difference in
efficient.
technology? Okay.
Yeah.
From a 2026, 2027 versus a 1936.
Well, no, you're talking about it's
The
just
substation.
the substation itself. More technology,
Okay.
and also just the quality of the equipment. After so long, you know, material fails, you know what I mean? So it just, material fails, and I mean, it just has to be updated and replaced.
Is there a lot of power outages due to that?
There's not. We makeshift. I mean, when you go by there, you'll see it's been makeshift up. But it's but it feeds down some of downtown. It feeds over down to Rural Avenue. It feeds that area. So, yeah. So, but that would be when at the end of the day, our goal is to have a new delivery point, new central substation. We're talking about doing away possibly with the Harold Jackson substation beside Brawley Stadium and making central large enough and rebuilding the lines to make them larger to feed all that and not have to replace that station. And then doing away with the Courtview Tower substation and maybe updating West Florence to have a little more capacity out of it. Because we used to have at Handy substation, the hospital used a lot of load, and it's now empty. There's nothing out of that substation, and so we feed a lot further down out of Handy than we used to, just because after the hospital left, we have a lot of capacity down there still. Now West Florence is going to take up some of it, but that's to be determined. And a second substation site, the industrial park, they're doing a great job with getting new businesses in industrial park. And I know there's a couple of people that are looking at places right now, and if they land some, we're going to have to look at increasing the size of our industrial park substation. So we have two substations there, and one's Parkway, which is newer, and we have Industrial Park, which is the older one. And so we're kind of going to look at prices to whether to just build a new one and abandon the industrial park, or leave it. Not really, we won't abandon it because it's there. We're not going to tear it down, but it's either increase the size of that one or build a third in the industrial park. So we are also, would y'all be willing to entertain purchasing a lot for that? In the industrial park.
Would CETA money help with industrial park?
CETA would probably pay for the industrial park one.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
they,
what is
And-
that?
See the pay for it. We're all with that.
would they do land and the substation, or would
They would do the
split that?
land, and they would probably pay for a portion of the substation, since it's for industrial
Do
development.
we need?
We
I
will.
don't know. Do we approach CETA? You know this more than. Do we approach CETA with a request of, hey, this is coming up? We need.
I
some
do.
help.
I just send them. I usually, when that happens, I'll just have a meeting with Kevin, and we'll just meet, and I'll explain to him what we're doing, and then I have to submit a formal request for the council to approve the request for requesting the money. Does that make sense? Is what we have to do.
Request for request.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
And
Yeah.
we'll definitely sign.
I know. So,
We like to sign them guys.
yes.
So, two people here would be impacted by this for an update: Plantation Springs and the power lines that run across the golf course. TVA has plans to move those. Is that what I had been told?
They have
Shifted.
plans to move some of them. So when TVA is taking that power line back over, well, they have always owned it, but we actually leased it from them for years. And they are rebuilding, which is a great asset to us, because right now our Florence primary substation is a dead end line from TVA, and it has no backfeed to it. So with the building of this line from Iron City, it will give our Florence primary, which is the main substation that feeds all of the mall, Lowe's, everything, and for that side of Florence, need to give it a dual feed, which would be great redundancy for us. And so with that, TVA went and surveyed all the power line. A lot of it's having to be replaced. Even those concrete poles are having to be replaced. We're taking them back over. They're going, because we replaced those. Those are actually our poles that we replaced. And so the line that we've been working on by Walmart, we rebuilt that pole line coming out of Florence Primary through Plantation Springs, and we had power line on the top of the pole and power on the side of the pole. And so we lowered the one on top of the pole, put them on the other side of the pole, because TVA is actually going to attach to those poles. So they're actually going to let us stay attached to the poles with them. And so what's going across when they resurveyed it, they discovered that there were some things that had been built in the right of ways because they hadn't been maintained in about 50, 70 years, I don't know. And so the poles were not in the center of the easements, and so they're moving their pole line to center their easements instead of to the side, is what they're looking at doing.
Is it gonna impact the golf course, you think?
No,
I mean, you know, it's on
it's not going to.
long par 5
One,
on the
three, well, it's 3 now.
3s. Right, it's got
2 and 3.
that whole power
Um,
line
yeah.
strip. Are they gonna move it towards the middle of the golf course, or will it go closer to where the houses are? Any
I'd have
idea?
to pull the plan up. I don't have the plan with me, but
Yeah, 'cause
most of it, there's already a right of way there, but it's not centered the right of way. But where it crosses the golf course, it may move. I'm thinking if you're
Wood
looking
line.
towards
I'm wondering
St.
if it'll be more
Florence,
like
it
where
may
that
move.
Right.
wood line is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll cut those trees down though. The
Well,
right
they've
of
already
way-
started trimming, so
They'll have the right of way if they adjust it. I don't think it'll impact.
I don't think it's going to impact.
Yeah.
No, it won't impact the houses. And I don't think it's going to impact the golf course. It's not moving much, but they're centering their power line across the right of way. Mm-hmm. And they
So they're not
own-
removing the power lines from the
Mhm.
golf course.
Mm-mm.
Shift it
No.
over somewhere.
Now they're putting in bigger poles, and they're replacing our poles that we put up, and we're gonna get those back.
When are they doing that?
I don't have a date. That
If you
we've
find
got
out,
to
please
be
let
done.
me know just so I can.
I will.
let
I'll
them
give
know
you a
what's
date
going
when we
on.
get it. We've had to have.
They're
So
trimming it
we
out,
had
so-
to do the construction, have our construction done by, I'm thinking February. We just met with them about this maybe 3 months ago. But we had, but I don't remember the dates, but I think it's February when we had to have all of our line construction complete. And I know they're trimming it now. They started from our city working this way, and they're completely trimming out the right of way. And so I'll let you know when we get a good definite date.
Somebody will call and ask me.
Well, they should get a letter, and they
Okay,
should have got a
okay.
letter stating that they're working in that area. TVA will send you a letter and tell you this, so, they used to, I'm pretty sure they still do.
Gotcha.
So, if y'all were good with looking at property, and I'll share with y'all what we find, what we think will best serve us, and anything else.
Do you want to go ahead and schedule our next meeting?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
That will be good.
We will move forward on the 2 jobs.
I can't confirm a date right now. It's on my calendar.
You have your calendar with you?
I do not.
Let me,
What's gonna have to be in, we're gonna move it into
we
January,
can move it in January.
and that way we got time to plan. You can look at it later, and if there's something, so I don't think we have much on our calendar for January.
Of course, right now, my January is very open. I cannot January 7th. So let's not do the first week. Let's say the second week of January. Let's shoot for maybe,
Not the 8th, I've got another meeting that day.
Monday the 12th, or Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Can we do Wednesday the 14th? Do you know?
I don't, but we ought to do 4 o'clock. We know it's like 4 or 12 is
You do
normally we
12?
do these. If we do 12 o'clock, it's normally like a lunch. You're the chair, tell me.
Yeah.
We normally do like a lunch meeting
I
here.
like 4 o'clock.
You like 4 o'clock for lunch? I'm fine with
Either
that.
one. You just like.
It's up to you, you decide, cause
What's your week of what? I do like 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock works
4
for me.
o'clock on the 12th.
You good, Josh?
What's the 12?
You good?
14th
Wednesday, January the
The
12th.
14th.
14th.
at 4 o'clock.
14th.
14th.
You know,
You gonna send us a thing?
Yes, you
I'll
will.
send out a thing at 4 o'clock. Wednesday the 14th at 4 o'clock.
Send us a thing out.
An invite.
Yeah.
I'll send out a thing.
And like I said, we're welcome to have it at my office. If you want to have it here, I'm good either or. So you guys
Your
just
office is fine.
decide that.
Mayor,
So
how do you feel?
I'm flexible. As far as location, Wednesday the 14th?
Yeah, the 14th. Are you free that day?
I think I am. 14th. 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 14th
I'm gonna wait for your invite, so I won't add it on my calendar.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to everybody.
Why
Is it
you don't wanna have
just,
it here?
just Mary?
Well, we can, I'm just saying parking's really hard.
Yes, I will probably
But yeah, we
invite,
can.
I will probably invite
It's just-
Danny Pettis.
Okay, you want me to put Danny Pettis on there as well?
And I'm gonna invite Brady Cox. He's the
Okay,
mayor of
who is,
Rogersville.
he's mayor of what?
Rogersville.
Rogersville, okay. I can send them the invite as well.
Please do.
And I can put it on everybody's calendar. What, just everybody in here, what about, you want Melinda?
I might, bring in, y'all got another second, let me talk about one more thing. So,
It's almost 6 o'clock.
I know. So, we are required to do.
I know it, I gotta go to the John Paul White concert.
I know. To have a joint, it's a TVA joint call study. And basically it spells out what percentage we pay for the joint costs that we use within general fund and the utilities. And so that has not been updated for 10 years and is in the process of being updated. And so maybe by then he will have it completed. And so I might see if I want him to come and go over that with you guys. So I'm gonna see if he can come that day.
And what's that about mainly?
It's the joint, so basically, this electricity department has our own budget. We bring in our own money from our rates. So, but we share employees like Melinda's office, the mayor's office, purchasing. We share certain employees with general fund. They do work for us. And so we have to, anytime anything changes or any employees are hired, and we're supposed to amend the joint cost study to show the percentages we are supposed to pay for those departments. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of weird or hard to explain, but we're having it updated. And so it should be complete this month. And so that would be a good time for him to come in, if y'all are good with that, and let him share the results of it, because that has to be approved by the council vote.
It's how the council utilizes the pilot money.
Well, no, that's different, not pilot
Oh, this is
money.
not pilot money?
No, this is just what we pay for percentages of salaries or whatever.
But not using pilot money.
No, that's,
Oh, okay,
pilot
okay.
money's separate.
Okay, all right, no,
Mhm.
I confused the two.
This is different. So,
Would it be worth them even coming to the meeting that we're gonna have, or, I don't wanna waste their time.
probably not that one.
Okay.
But let's wait till the next one, because I need to get him in, to have that conversation with you guys before that way, if you get questioned about it, I want y'all to understand, you know what I mean, what everything is. So I'm gonna shoot for that day for that, if you're good with that.
I can send it out and we can always forward them the invite later on
True.
if
Sure.
something changes, so.
I just want them to be a part of it, something that affects the
Yeah, for
county.
sure, yeah.
And they can be here to
And
hear it.
Mr. Pettis, I think his office is right upstairs too.
It is.
So we can, he can for sure just,
And so let's put on that being our topic. And if for some reason Rich can't do that, then we'll reschedule, but I'll go ahead and reach out to him and see if he can work that day, so. So, okay, anything else? Y'all are good.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.